Today, we are talking about one of the silliest and I think people of a certain generation, their favorite comedies from their youth, and that movie is
Billy Madison.
So what's it like being back in school?
I don't know, I kind of feel like an idiot sometimes. Although I am an idiot, so it kind of works out.
First of all, Chris, I don't know when people are going to be watching this because I don't know when this is coming out, but when we're filming this, I want to wish you a happy Nudie Magazine Month.
It's Nudie Magazine Day!
Nudie Magazine Day, October 1st. It's still Nudie Magazine Month right now.
We're a couple days behind it, but Nudie Magazine Day.
Yeah, so hope you're still enjoying your Nudie magazines.
Happy Nudie Magazine Day to you, too.
A lot of things with this movie that we're going to get to. I think one thing in particular, Norm MacDonald passed away recently. This was a lot. I've rewatched just his clips from this movie a lot lately because he's just freaking hilarious. He's not even important to the plot, but neither is Chris Farley in this, really. They're just kind of there.
Yeah.
And they're both hilarious. A lot to do with this is a running series of jokes, and it takes. We mentioned this, or I mentioned this when we did Back to School. I think this is taking the plot to Back to School, kind of twisting it a little bit, and then adding a lot of Adam Sandler's humor from the '90s. Just a lot of silly slapstick gags. And I think this is probably, for me personally, my second favorite Adam Sandler comedy.
I actually have to think about like what my favorite Adam Sandler movies would be.
Which is an episode we should do just on its own sometime.
Yeah, for sure. We could do that for like a lot of different actors. Like, what is your favorite blank movie, right? But for sure, this is up there. And it's one of those quotable movies.
So
that's like
quotable.
All of these movies that we watch are, most of them, like you drop quotes from, right? And they're in everyday life, like.
Which is funny, sorry to cut you off, but
No.
it's funny how quotable this movie is because I love it. I think it's hilarious. I love the movie, but it is dumb.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like we've said before, like the difference between film and movie and cinema and all this shit. It's a stupid movie. But there are so many, for whatever reason, there's so many quotes that peeing your pants is cool.
If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Like all this stuff that I first saw this movie, I don't remember what year this came out.
1995.
Holy shit.
It's almost 30 years.
Yeah, so I saw this movie probably 25 years ago for the first time. And I still, maybe a week ago, said to a friend of mine that peeing your pants is cool.
Every summer I say it's too damn hot for a penguin to be just walking around.
Yeah.
Like,
It's too damn hot for a penguin to be just walking around here.
these are the things that you just say, and it just becomes so a part of our culture.
I was on an Amtrak like a week ago from Milwaukee, and we're passing by like a wooded area, and there was a swan in the swamp, and I said, like, stop looking at me, swan.
Stop looking at me, Swan!
One of my proudest parenting moments, my oldest child was taking a bath, and I made a comment about shampoo is better, and she looked at me, and then I told her the whole thing.
Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth. Oh, really, fool? Really?
And then I got her to do it. And I have a video of my
That's
daughter
amazing.
doing the shampoo is better, conditioner is better.
Isn't
And
it-
that's one of my proudest moments as a parent.
Isn't it amazing that bit is so quotable, and you and I both know, anybody who's seen this movie, grew up with it, will know the shampoo and conditioner bit, and it's so freaking stupid.
That's the whole
Conditioner is
movie.
better.
It's
I
the whole
know.
movie. But that's the beauty of it, right? Sometimes you just need a movie where you just you turn it on, you tune out, and you just laugh your ass off.
But what is it that makes something like this there are other movies we've talked about and we'll talk about that are equally as quotable, but this is really far up there with quotable. This might be, I don't want to say number one top quotable movie, but people of my generation, I feel like it kind of is.
I feel
what is it? What is it though?
I don't know. Maybe I feel like it's they sat down to write this movie and they said, let's write the quotes first, and then we'll just fill in the plot everywhere else.
Well, I think it is write the jokes first. The end scene with that is the most incoherent, dumb. That's a GIF and a meme now too. I think just brilliantly written lines, and the plot almost doesn't matter. This is another one of those movies where you know how it's going to end. It's fine, but the jokes are so strong that you're there for the ride.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think, you know, it's so appropriate that Adam Sandler is playing this character and that this is an Adam Sandler movie because, like, it's so dumb. Like, don't get me wrong. I appreciate a certain type of humor, right? But, like, Adam Sandler's humor is you can be hot and cold with Adam Sandler, right? Like, there's some comedians you go, like, yeah, he's okay.
Yeah.
You either like Adam Sandler or you hate Adam Sandler.
Right.
And this is one of the, like, it's just so dumb. As you said, like, it's such a stupid movie. It's funny, it's great to watch, but it's such a stupid movie. And, like, Adam Sandler has gone on the record as saying that Billy Madison was the closest he ever came to playing himself.
That's hilarious. And so here's the thing. I think there's a pendulum swing with Adam Sandler where the 90s into the early 2000s, people loved him. From SNL, then they liked these movies, Happy Gilmore, this one, The Wedding Singer, Big Daddy, Mr. Deeds. I saw like a lot of these in theaters too.
Yeah.
People thought he was hilarious and he's this huge movie star. Then all of a sudden he was oversaturated. And people were like, Grown Ups, this is stupid. Grown Ups 2, this is stupid. Jack and Jill.
What's my name?
Dunkachino! Dunkachino!
Like there's just some dog shit that he's putting out, and he kind of put out the same movie over and over again. And he got a little oversaturated, and I think the pendulum swung back. He did some serious roles. I mean, Punch Drunk Love was like 20 years ago, but he was great in that. And then Uncut Gems, and he's just like a regular dude. Like he's seen in basketball shorts and flip flops out all the time.
Yeah.
He's
with
like,
his giant puffy coat.
Yeah,
he's wearing shorts like in the middle of winter with his giant puffy coat that has become a meme where the coat keeps getting bigger and
like
bigger.
He doesn't know how to
bigger.
dress. He has like a normal father. Like you don't know anything about his kids really. And I think, at least for me, I don't know if other people agree with this. I got to a point with him where it's like, he kind of beat Hollywood. Like he made movies now. He can make whatever the hell stupid ass movie he wants. Like Grown Ups was just an excuse to hang out with his friends.
But didn't he make a Netflix movie like a couple of years ago?
He's made a bunch of Netflix
that
movies.
was like, it is like one of the worst movies ever made, and it's just a dumb movie. But like, he got paid millions of dollars.
A big deal with Netflix. He makes a couple he makes a different movie I think like every year with Netflix basically. And like I like some of them. Like The Week Of I liked. Hubie Halloween I thought was hilarious, and he's playing the same thing over. Like the same character, Hubie Halloween, he's almost playing the character from Billy Madison in some ways, just like the stupid guy, or like from The Waterboy, where it's like he became oversaturated and now he's like oversaturated that he's like likable again, and we kind of like get him.
It's like a full circle, right?
It's kind of
Just
like a full circle, and it's like with him, and I would recommend watching his stand-up special on Netflix too, actually.
I'm heading out, and all I'm taking with me is my phone, wallet, keys, phone, wallet, keys.
He just puts out silly stuff, and I think we got so far away from that in comedy where it has to be about something and about like a profound moment and being a truth teller, when in fact most comedians and comedy writers are not truth tellers. Like, it's not your job. And he's just silly, and like I think people just are gravitating towards silly again, and like we should appreciate just a silly movie like him, or the movie put out like Billy Madison. And that's why this movie holds up, is I think deep down we all just want silly shit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and you know, as you mentioned, like Uncut Gems, or even like Reign Over Me.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta tell you, dude can act. Like, he did a good job, even though with Uncut Gems it was more of like, he's kind of playing a little bit of a caricature.
I disagree.
Yeah. So it was different, but like Reign Over Me, like that was not an easy role to play.
Yeah.
And he did a good job of it. So it's so like different sides of the spectrum, where you have Reign Over Me and Billy Madison, and I mean they both have a place, but it's interesting to watch him kind of go from one to the other.
Yeah, I think when you know comedic timing, you can do dramas. You can't go from drama to all of a sudden understanding comedy. But if you know comedic timing, you can go into dramas, and he's done that really well. And maybe that like reminds people to go back and watch some of these movies too, because I don't think people just want to be preached to and like have all comedy be about some bigger point. I think deep down, whether or not you want to admit it or not, like Billy Madison is the perfect kind of comedy to just sit back and turn your brain off.
That's exactly that's what comedy is, right?
Supposed to be,
Comedy is an escape from reality. And when you get into Billy Madison, you are literally escaping from reality.
Yeah.
There is nothing real about that movie.
No.
You know, like
The plot is absurd.
yeah.
Like we compare this to Back to School. Like Back to School is also an absurd plot, but it's more believable because kids in college are basically adults. Him going to sit in second grade.
Yeah.
And like graduating a different grade every week, and the putting like the whole thing is absurd. So like you have to suspend reality completely to jump into it. And then once you do that, it's just joke after joke after joke. No scene is wasted in the whole movie.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and they do a great job too of, we've talked about this with other movies. They connected this movie to so many other movies. So Chris Farley's character, who is generally a throwaway as the bus driver,
Barely in the
right?
movie,
Like
yeah.
barely there. When he's getting everybody on the bus, he says, "Good, great, grand, wonderful."
Ready on? Good, great, grand, wonderful.
He says the same thing in Airheads. Like that's as the police officer.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's his line there. The fact that they just tied in a totally throwaway line of or scene of the lunch lady doing the sloppy joes. That's Adam Sandler's song "Lunch
Yeah,
Lady
yeah,
Land"
yeah.
from one of his albums.
Just know everything's doing fine down here in Lunch Lady Land.
That's another tie-in. This one is very close, and I don't think it was intentional, but it works out perfectly. In the movie, the kids and Billy Madison are talking about video games, and they're talking about Mortal Kombat. Well, Veronica Vaughn actually ends up starring in Mortal Kombat
After
the
the
same
fact, though, or-
year.
Oh,
the
same year.
same year. So she must have been working on both movies.
Then maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was intentional then.
So I don't know if it was or not, but like both of them came out in '95, so she had to have been working on them at the same time.
Tommy
but
Boy
like-
came out this year too.
Yeah.
And fun fact, because of this movie, they had to change the title to Tommy Boy because Tommy was originally going to be named Billy.
Huh, interesting. I like that's a good one. You know, at the end where Billy Madison is giving his spiel on business ethics,
Yeah.
being like the puppy who lost its way, and he stops and everybody's just dead silent, and he says, "Nib-High football rules." That's from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
San Dimas High School football rule.
Or San Dimas High football rules. So a connection to an 80s movie there. And then the last one is, even though this one set the precedent for another movie, is you had the janitor who had the sideburns, and Billy Madison calls him Sideburns. And in The Wedding Singer, there's a whole thing with a guy with sideburns.
And that lady with the sideburns.
It's another reason I think people loved his early movies is because a lot of them were self-referential
Yeah.
or referenced a different one.
Yeah, I mean, that's always great when you're like, oh, I get that. Like,
Yeah.
I understood that reference.
I get that joke. That's a fun joke, fun reference. But like we go back to like Norm Macdonald, right, and some of the other actors in this movie, right? You have Norm Macdonald, who was perfect for that role, almost
so
like a
good.
throwaway role, but like perfectly cast, perfectly fit in that role. And one of the things that I love about it is in the pool scene, you know, where leading to Nudie Magazine Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Billy says, "Hey, what day is it?" And Norm
October.
Macdonald, you know, does the whole thing. In that scene, Norm Macdonald was actually wasted.
I know, he was drunk.
He was
Yeah.
drunk that
Yeah.
entire scene.
Yeah, right. And then I'm waiting a little longer, and I'm like, wow, he's really milking this one. And then a few more seconds, I noticed old Norm was sleeping.
Right? Remember that?
I got
Yes,
to start.
sir.
You fell asleep while the camera was rolling.
Well, they wanted me to play a drunk.
That's right. That's right.
And so I said, you got some booze?
No,
But also,
fun. It was
also he called me Frank, and in my mind I was thinking, who the is Frank?
I mean, it's just so perfect. Like the elements of realism in this movie, like the dodgeball scene. The dodgeball
Yeah.
scene is real. Adam Sandler is whipping those dodgeballs at those
great.
kids, and so like you notice when the kids get hit, it's a hard cut. Like it's a hard cut because they had to stop the cut because the kids were crying. So like they
hilarious.
couldn't film the kids crying. He's just whipping dodgeballs at these kids and having the time of his life, which is stupid, but that's kind of incredible. Like that he got away. Also that he got away with it. Never would get away with that in today's day and age, with like filming something and being like, "Hey, mom and dad, your kid's gonna be in this movie. It's gonna be a dodgeball scene. Adam Sandler's gonna whip a dodgeball at your kid, and he's actually gonna hit your kid pretty hard." The parents are gonna, hell no. Like I'm not allowing this, but they allowed it then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And just one like last thing is I cannot watch, and I've done this several times. I can't watch through The West Wing without
I can't watch
thinking
the
about
West Wing. Period. Show sucks.
I disagree.
I mean, it's all right. Like it's fine. Like
Continue. Sorry.
it's fine. But like Bradley Whitford, and without thinking about him in this movie, and all of the like thinking. I mean, playing an asshole, and in West Wing he's playing an asshole too because he's playing Rahm Emanuel's character, right? So it's kind of fitting, but like I can't watch it without, and I can't see Bradley Whitford in anything without thinking about him in this
A lot of
movie.
people get typecast as an asshole.
Yeah.
Wonder how you like feel about that as an actor, but
if the checks are getting cashed,
all money is green.
You know,
one of the best brand like boosts I think is how Snack Pack benefited from this movie.
Oh yeah.
You know I like Snack Pack. Why can't you just give me a Snack Pack?
Because I probably saw this for the first, not to make you feel old here, but I was probably in second grade when I saw this.
Jesus Christ.
And Snack Pack was like popular in people's lunches.
Yeah.
And I even at that age and now, I can't think of Snack Pack.
Snack Pack.
It still exists. Is Snack Pack still
I don't
out
know if the brand exists. I mean, those they
there?
definitely
The pudding
exist,
cups
but, like,
definitely
exist.
The brand definitely existed when I was like in first, second grade, and people would have them at lunch, and it's like all I would think about is Billy Madison. I don't know if it's like chicken and the egg. Like, I don't know if I wanted Snack Pack because I liked this movie as a child, or if the other way around, like Snack Packs just got popular and people are buying them because of that, and it ended up in my lunch. But like, I don't think I would know what a Snack Pack is.
No, a Snack Pack is.
Even if I had them as a kid, I don't think I would remember them if it wasn't for Billy Madison. So I hope Snack
and
Pack
being
still.
reminded every time you watch that movie about Snack Pack.
Snack Pack tastes like somebody's mom.
Yeah, and it makes me want pudding. I loved chocolate pudding, underrated.
I mean, I agree. Yeah. I haven't had chocolate pudding in a long time.
Well, it's been a minute since I had chocolate pudding or vanilla pudding or any pudding, but pudding is an underrated. Actually, it's not been a minute. I had a lot of pudding during COVID for some reason.
Oh, we should specify for our English brethren, the types of pudding that we're talking about is not the type of pudding that you're talking about. It's a very different type of pudding.
This is much. It comes in a little container with a pullback, or you make it at home. Now I'm getting a pudding craving.
Yeah, maybe we should go and get some pudding after this.
Yeah. I can't talk about this movie without thinking about pudding.
Yeah. But I mean, this is one of those movies I'm going to keep watching. It's totally dumb, and as long as you go into it knowing that it's totally dumb, you're going to walk out happy. If you go in thinking like, man, this is going to be a good movie, you're going to probably be disappointed by it.
Yeah, don't go into it
like
with
that's
that,
not
but
like
yeah.
That's not the purpose. Like you want to go in and you want to laugh for 90 minutes.
When Norm passed away, I went to see if Billy Madison was streaming anywhere for free, and it wasn't. I was kind of annoyed. And it's like one of those movies where I feel like it should always be available on some app. Like
for
it's
sure.
there's like a handful of movies that are seemingly always available on. If it's not Netflix, it's Hulu or Prime or HBO. Like it's just always there. This movie should just always be available at any moment.
Yeah, for sure. To help us escape from reality.
Yeah, I want to see Norm with a cheeseburger on his head, dancing at a kid's birthday party. I think this is going to be like a mid. I can't see this being even in the high sixes, even though we love this movie and other people agree. So I'm going to say like 6.5.
I'm going to say like 6'3".
6'4".
Ooh, split the difference. Jinx. You owe me a Coke.
You did?
Awesome.
That was pretty good.